All right, guys. Well, happy Tuesday again. Excited to have MediaAlpha here. You guys probably have the gist of how these work. We're going to go through some introductions so that you get to meet their team and two just absolutely awesome people to the insurance space that I'm fortunate to know. We'll get through why we partnered with them. We'll go through a demo, and then, like I said, we're going to spend some time on questions for you. So, Rebecca, do you want to kick things off and then pass it over to I don't know if it's fair to say your better half, but you want to kick things off and go ladies first here?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Hi, everybody. My name is Rebecca. I've been working with MediaAlpha for about 2.5 years. Most of our team is based out in Los Angeles and Phoenix, Arizona, but I actually live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I work on our product team, and I'm primarily focused on our agent platform. So I'm so excited to be here with you all and to get to share it with you today.
All right, and my name is Tigran Makikian. Pleasure to meet everybody on the call today. VP of Demand Partnerships and Agency Operations here at MediaAlpha. I've actually been with MediaAlpha since 2015. Prior to joining our insurance vertical, I was actually part of the team that helped spearhead the launch of our travel vertical for MediaAlpha and using our technology there. So it's been kind of a wild ride for the past 6 years that I've been a part of this great company, and I'm excited to share all the details about MediaAlpha today with all of you.
Awesome. Glad to have both of you because Rebecca, I know you're spending tons of time on insurance, and then Tigran, I know, like you said, you have a very interesting background that bringing that strength to the insurance space is what makes MediaAlpha so interesting. Agents, you guys can probably see some of your fellow friends in the group. We had 91 people registered for this. So we are going to post the recordings. Stay tuned and hang out by all means. But we had 91 different agencies that RSVP'd for that. And that is completely outside of the norm for what we would normally call a lead vendor. And I think that's because you guys do go above and beyond and, you know, are providing more value. So I'm going to at least talk about from the AgencyZoom side why we partnered. Like I said, all of our partnerships are the first step that we take forward when we find another company that has shared values. Then we move on to integrations once there's some mutual users or a plethora of mutual users that can say what they want. But we know, and you know, we find companies that have a lot in common with us. We know that too often hometown agencies, many of which you guys are, you don't get attention like the big guys, or the big players in tech don't give you attention, and you don't get the same level of support or even access to as interesting of pieces of technology. So then when we come across teams like MediaAlpha who are excited about partnering with independent agents, hometown agencies, they're excited to keep things cost effective but really put you in the driver's seat and help you guys level up, that's when we decide to partner. You know, that's when we say, okay, there's a common good, a common interest here that we're very excited to serve and bring, you know, attention to. So Rebecca or Tigran, I'm not sure which of you guys maybe want to cover how you first found out about AgencyZoom, why you decided that partnering with us goofballs is going to be a good idea on your side of things, but would love to hear from you guys too.
Happy to do so, Kat. I'll jump in here. So, frankly, when we decided to work directly with agents, Kat, we heard a lot about AgencyZoom directly from the agents who said, "Hey, are you guys integrated? We'd love to work with both of your companies." So certainly we said at the time, "No, we're not. We're going to reach out to AgencyZoom management and see if there's an opportunity to work together." And that was the impetus for us to reach out to you, Kat, and start this great conversation, which has come to this point where we're now talking to all these great agents who are on board listening to us today. So, you know, we've heard nothing but great things. And similar to what you said about partnering with a great team, the feeling is mutual, and I believe we share the same DNA. So as we looked into AgencyZoom, we noticed the same things about AgencyZoom that we here at MediaAlpha value, and that's bringing innovation and technology to the agent space, PNC insurance agents. So really that's, you know, there's a real good match here, and the opportunity is abundant, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about MediaAlpha. and
Absolutely.
what we can do for the agents. Yeah.
Love that. I think that is probably, like you said, the DNA being similar, that our background is to bring like world-class sales and service technology that is not in the insurance space yet into insurance. And you guys are doing the same thing, which I think getting into the demo, and Rebecca, if you want to take the reins here, I think getting into the demo and hearing more about Media Alpha is obviously why agents are here today. They spend way too much time with me, so they're tired of my nonsense. But I think them seeing your guys' backstory is going to help them connect the dots, like you said, that we have that similar DNA.
Yeah, absolutely. I will go ahead and share my screen.
So,
all right. Go ahead, Tigran.
Oh, Tigran, gotta unmute you. I think we lost sound there, guys. Tigran and Rebecca, can you unmute? There we go.
okay. All right, we're back. So before I hand things off to Rebecca, let me take a moment just to introduce MediaAlpha to everybody on board today. So MediaAlpha's agent platform, a lot of you may not have heard about us until now, but we were founded in 2011. Our founder-led team has fostered a culture of development, execution, and innovation. And from day one, and you saw it in the earlier slide that Kat had, everything that we've built is built on a simple premise, which is be transparent with people that you work with, be transparent in general, and they will all reward you with their trust. And we've never taken this for granted here at MediaAlpha since our founding in 2011. So today our insurance partners optimize and scale their customer acquisition efforts. If we could just go to the next slide here, Rebecca. And you can see a great many of the names that we all recognize, right? Geico, Progressive, State Farm, Allstate. And we also work with many independents on the publisher side as well. So the MediaAlpha platform enables both our insurance partners on the advertising side and on the publishing side to work in a very transparent and efficient manner to acquire what we refer to as inventory, but that's basically clicks, calls, and leads through our technology platform that is backed by data science. And so what we've really brought to the table is this technology that allows our partners to buy in an efficient manner that is ROI positive. So you have access to and understand, for example, and this is maybe a little bit more detailed than we plan to cover today, but access to channels through which your inventory clicks, calls, and leads are coming from, and being able to what we call right price. In essence, you decide the price that backs out for you instead of MediaAlpha dictating what that price should be for that inventory. Again, clicks, calls, and leads. And for our PNC agents here today, we're talking about leads in particular. So our company started out working directly with the carriers, okay? But soon, as in 2020, we looked at what are PNC agents doing? We understand how we've served the carrier community, but what are PNC agents doing? What technology do they need? And Kat's company, AgencyZoom, has delivered on the LMS side and all the wonderful tools that they've enabled for the agents to utilize today. But on the lead side itself, we started speaking to a number of agents. During the course of a couple of months, we probably spoke to 50 plus agents. And we didn't approach them to sell leads. We said, we want to understand what the shortcomings are, and certainly what the wins are. Where do you succeed? Where do other platforms, where do other lead vendors really take it to the next level? Unfortunately, one of the common themes that we heard, and I think all of you can sympathize and or say, yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Tigran, is that the common theme was, it's a necessary evil. Unfortunately, I have to buy leads. And so, that threw us back a little bit. That agents across the board were saying the same thing. There were many other comments. You'll have access to this slide. You can see the variety of different feedback that we received. A lot of it was negative, unfortunately. And so this is where we decided to make it our mission as we established a platform for agents to acquire leads, to take everything that the agents said, to highlight the key features and to deliver on that. So we wanted to reinvent the agent customer acquisition funnel, the way in which you buy leads, the way you want to buy leads. And so I'm going to stop talking now and hand this over to Rebecca. We'll save some time at the very end for questions. I'm sure a lot of questions will come up, but let me turn it over to Rebecca and she'll go through the MediaAlpha platform.
Yeah, thanks, Tigran. So as Tigran mentioned, we've really made it a point to develop this platform to do things differently than other vendors in the space. So this slide highlights a lot of our key features that we've built to provide more control, flexibility, and transparency to agents who work with us. And I think it's more meaningful to just show you some of these in the platform. So you'll see some of these features specifically in our platform in just a moment. And before we jump into sharing our platform, I do want to mention we source our leads through MediaAlpha's owned and operated websites, which are sourced by high intent search traffic. All the leads that we sell to agents today are considered shared. We sell them to up to 4 buyers, but never more than once to multiple buyers of the same carrier. So for example, we never sell the same lead to 2 farmers agents. With that, I'm going to switch my screen over to the platform. You'll bear with me just a moment. All right. So the first page that you see here on my screen, and the first page you'll see if you buy leads with us and you open up the platform, is a list of leads you've purchased. This page gives you the option to export your leads, filter them, update their status, or flag them for follow-up, really just to keep track of your leads through your sales cycle. You can also click on a lead's name and view that lead's full detail information. So if I open up detail page, you'll see drivers, vehicles, contact information, as well as any incidents, accidents, and tickets, which this particular lead doesn't have. One thing I want to highlight on this page is, after hearing just how inconvenient the return process was through a lot of other platforms, we made it a point to make this simple. So agents have 7 days to automatically receive return credits. And to do that, you simply come in here to the detail page, click this button, select a reason for your return, and then submit the request. And this will go through automatically. You'll get your funds back immediately that you can start putting towards other leads. There's no approval process or wait time. The next page I'd like to highlight is the account settings. So this page really gives you a good glimpse at how much control you have through our platform. First and foremost, you can pause or enable your account at any time and for however long you want. I know that's different from a lot of other platforms, but we put that front and center at the top of the page. You don't have to call us and wait on hold. You can do that anytime. We know that your schedules change, and your volume and ability to work leads over time changes. Next, you can choose whether you want to buy leads in an entire state or select just a specific zip code radius. And then from there, you can choose what type of leads you want to buy. So we have some kind of canned, predetermined targeting options here with these first 4, or you can get more granular and set up custom consumer types at the bottom. And the other thing you'll notice is these bid fields right here are editable by agents. So at any time, you get to set the price, as Tigran mentioned. And really the point of this bidded model that we have is so that you can set the price and decide what backs out for you based on return on investment. If these leads are working really well for you and you want to receive more volume and the price is backing out, you can increase your bid. If not, you can decrease and still win some volume, but maybe not as much. We also let agents configure a schedule on this page. So you can set your time zone, select what days and hours you want to work leads. And then part of this is what we call off hours bidding right here at the bottom of the schedule. So with this option, half of our leads come in overnight or during off hours. And unlike a lot of other vendors who might kind of hold those overnight and then flood you the next morning, we actually keep selling them and then we let you bid down on them. So that's what this percentage is. It's setting a percentage of your regular bids. We know that these leads might not be quite as valuable to you because they did come in during your off hours. You might not have gotten to them immediately. So as such, you should be able to pay a little bit less for them if you choose to. And then next, I'll show you, we support several different ways for you to actually receive your leads. We have email and text message notifications, and we do integrate with several lead management systems. And I'll also highlight this feature right here called Auto Connect, which is a coming soon feature that basically every time you win a new lead, will call you first and then attempt to connect you with the consumer from there. So just another way for agents to quickly get to the leads and work them as fast as possible. And then the last thing that I'll mention, won't dive into it, but we do have a referral program here you can see in the sidebar. If you join us and you know someone who might be a good fit for our platform, we always love to reward our agents for quality referrals. So keep that in mind too. I don't know, do we want to open it up for questions at this time? Maybe we wait till the end.
I'm getting a couple in the chat.
Oh,
So
perfect. Okay.
up so far. Some agents asking, how are these going to get into AgencyZoom? Guys, the reason this is a partnership today and not an integration is not any lack of confidence on our part around MediaAlpha. They're awesome. We're super excited. But anytime we don't have a lot of mutual users to practice and test an integration with yet, we start as a partnership. So this is an opportunity for you guys to learn about them. Raise your hand. I've already had 2 agencies say count us in. They're excited to try it. They're going to set up time with MediaAlpha to get to know them, and they're already using us. And then we're going to build an integration. If you guys have purchased leads in the past, or even if you guys have set up some of the different webhooks and email integrations and such, what'll happen is our goal is to set up a webhook. So where Rebecca just showed you on that page that you can put your destination of your lead management system, that's us, guys. Just putting 2 to 2 together, that's us once we have that integration built out. And then things like the status on that lead page, we're going to want to send that information back to them and let them know that the status is no longer new. Maybe it's contacted or maybe it's quoted. So that's where, again, we need your guys' help saying how much do you want us to pass back and forth with each other. Same as an opportunity to take the, the leads that you do not want, that don't turn out the way you had anticipated. Maybe the person didn't really know what they were submitting in for. Those returns to have a close loss reason in AgencyZoom that you can drag and drop them down to close lost. And then that would return the lead into MediaAlpha for you and you get that credit back. Again, they're really forward thinking. They're very fast, but it gives us more things as a little project to work on in the integration. And that's why we're hoping to have, a couple of you guys, which thank you to the 2 teams already that have said count us in. Very, very helpful. Rebecca, you have, and Tigran for that matter, you guys do have one question in the chat around whether you guys integrate with one of our competitors. Jeff, you troublemaker. Feel free to answer his question still. This is a huge ecosystem. We have 7,400 agencies at this point. So Jeff, if this is important, or I know, Rebecca, you mentioned referrals from agency to agency. Jeff might know some people that are on another product that's pretty common in the captive space for farmers agents. It's called Agency MVP.
Yeah, I believe we have done an integration with Agency MVP, and I would just say every integration is a little bit different just based on how agents are using the tools. So we would want to work with you directly, Jeff, and understand how you're using it and see that we could set that up. But I'm fairly confident that we would be able to. Yeah,
awesome.
Good question.
Okay. And then we have one around cost, but I'm sure you kind of want to finish that up and maybe get into that. I know you showed some of the settings.
Yeah, the cost, I can touch on that quickly. As we showed in the demo, we do let agents set their own price based on the different consumer types that you want to buy. And the prices vary a lot by state, right? And that's kind of the whole point of our model, is that we want these to back out for you guys and for you to be paying what they're worth to you. So if you choose to work with us and set up an account, we will give you some guidance around that based on what other agents are bidding for those same leads in your area and for the same consumer types. But at the end of the day, the price is up to you. You get to set the bid for yourself.
Awesome, that's super helpful. This one's a hard one, and they acknowledge that. What is the return policy like if the client never answered?
Yeah, so we do have some specific return reasons that I showed in the demo. They're right there on the menu in the platform so that you don't ever forget. If someone just simply doesn't pick up the phone, doesn't get back in touch with you, unfortunately, that's not one of the valid return reasons because we can't necessarily guarantee that they're going to answer the phone. But I do think we have some products coming soon on the next couple of slides that we'll get into that are actually aiming to address contact rate issues. So that's a
Awesome.
great
Love that.
question.
Also, guys, again, with that webhook, when we bring those leads in, we're going to go ahead and set up a custom lead source that's MediaAlpha. That way you guys can immediately send out a text saying like, hey, Blaine wanted to get a hold of you this afternoon. How does your schedule look? Send them an email at the end of your day that says, hey, I'm wrapping things up. I haven't heard from you yet. Does tomorrow look better? There's a lot of really cool stuff, again, as we continue to go from a partnership right now with MediaAlpha to an integration and continuing to support you guys with like unique content around how to best use these leads and to like how to make the most out of the integration when we get to it, that you guys will hopefully have higher contact rates than just buying some leads and maybe only getting them texted to one agent who could be out sick or who could be on another call, you name it, you know. So we're going to help you guys try and get through that. That's part of, again, us finding commonality between the two companies. So let's see. Have some companies for AgencyZoom side of things. I can answer those at the end around rating vendors and us being on co-op and stuff like that. So guys, happy to answer those at the end for you. That way Tigran and Rebecca can, you know, get through things. And then also so we can keep this pretty short for any of the people that want to watch it back. I had one person ask about, are the leads shared with other agents? Rebecca, I know you addressed that. Do you want to re-explain that in case you just hopped in a little bit later?
Yeah, of course. So all the leads we sell to agents today are considered shared. We do cap that at 4 buyers, so they're not going to be shared with more than 4 different agents or 4 different buyers. And we don't sell more than one of those 4 shared legs to 2 buyers of the same carrier. So we wouldn't sell it to 2 farmers agents, for example. We do have rules in place to limit that. And I would also say, because we're newer in this space, I mean, on average, we sell more like 2 legs per lead, two sales per lead. So we cap it at 4, but we're not often selling to four different buyers.
Okay, awesome. And then I think last one that'll probably help all in all, we had somebody ask about how you guys are generating these and dictating that they're high interest, you know, are those landing pages? And then on those landing pages, your guys' general like TCPA language, liability, stuff like that. Like when you're getting someone who says, I'm very interested, have they checked all of those boxes that gives the agent freedom to be able to talk to that person?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our leads are coming from websites that MediaAlpha owns and operates ourselves. One of them, officialcarinsurance.com, if you want to just check it out as an example. But we do that on purpose, sourcing them ourselves because we have more control over the quality, where they're coming from, and what type of traffic is going to those sites. And that's where we have control to say that this is coming from search traffic, people who go to Google, type in insurance rates or auto insurance, and then would see one of our websites as one of the results in that search. As far as TCPA goes, again, if you want to go to that website and check it out and fill out the form, in the very last step, you'll see our full TCPA language. But we do have a policy in place for that allows agents to contact the leads. So if there's any further questions on that, we can address maybe at the end, and I can share the specific language if we need to, but we definitely are very TCPA minded and compliance minded and want to make sure that you guys are covered to work these the way that you need to.
I think we can put some of those links even on the landing page for you guys. That way, that partnership page, you guys can come back and rewatch the video, you know, look at some of the things that Rebecca has mentioned. We can put the landing page that she mentioned that they're maintaining their own unique ones. We can get all of that put into a little resource hub on that landing page for you guys. Tigran, were you going to share
I
some more?
was I was just going to add a short bit to what Rebecca was saying. We also take DNCs very seriously, and so if a consumer says, "Do not contact me" or "Take me off your list," they're able to do so via the website. Also, an agent can report that into us, and we will eliminate that from our list as well. We have a process in place for that. So we take these things very seriously here at MediaAlpha.
Awesome. we're also getting some questions. There's people that are obviously interested. They want to know, do you guys do renters insurance? Do you have homeowners insurance leads?
We are just doing auto at the moment. We'd love to expand into some other verticals, but for now it's only auto.
We figure we should be proficient in one type of lead before we expand into others, although we do, on our carrier side of the business, we do address beyond just auto, life, health, Medicare, and so forth. There was another question too, Ken, if I can address real quick. I saw a bunch of folks asking about subsidy programs that a number of different captive agencies do provide. We are not currently in a subsidy program with any of the captive agencies out there. We are in discussions with a number of them, so stay tuned for that. But with that said, we believe that our pricing, especially with the bidded model, is very affordable, and that's one thing that agents really gravitate towards, is that it's not a one price fits all model that eliminates a lot of potential agent buyers.
Awesome, perfect. Teams that are asking about co-op for AgencyZoom. We have a lot of the independent carriers, everything from like Safeco, Grange, State Auto, a couple others now at this point, plus networks and aggregators that have co-op programs for you guys. If you have questions on that, please chat in with us. Share with us. These are my two biggest carriers, or check with your sales manager at those carriers. Let us know you're part of a network or an aggregator, a state association. We have a lot of different channels at this point that we represent and support with discounts, but also with more content. Like I just said, around even MediaAlpha, that you guys will get more support and more content that's specific to this partnership. It works the same way if you were in the state of Ohio, or if you're out in Kansas and you maybe have something for disaster prep around tornadoes, or if you're down in Florida, again, different carriers, different state associations, you name it. There's a lot of different reasons. So always stay in touch with us. It doesn't hurt to ask. Our team can always check in. We also maintain it on our website, quite a bit of those. Some of those are private and we can't disclose and are on a need to know basis. Others are pretty public. So, Rebecca, the only other question, I know we've touched on it already a little bit, but I feel like there are a lot of independent agencies on here. We've had it come in, and you mentioned that you don't share leads between carriers. Will you sell to two independent agencies then? How do you handle the fact that the independents are appointed to multiple carriers?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I should have addressed that when I mentioned the shared lead kind of policy there. So independents don't fall under that sort of rule for us. That what I mentioned about not selling to more than one agent from the same carrier really just applies to captives, because as you guys know, as we know, independents do represent often a multitude of different carriers.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think we're caught up on questions. If you guys want to share some more, and we can get back to our normal agenda or scheduled.
Sounds good. Yeah, we just have a few additional slides just to kind of share with you guys some of the things we're working on coming soon. I know Tigran talked a lot about how we're trying to reinvent this space and do things differently. So we have some exciting things in the works. I mentioned during the demo the Auto Connect feature, a new tool for agents to basically receive a phone call anytime you win a new lead. And then if you're the first to pick up of whoever bought that lead from us, we would then attempt to connect you directly with the consumer on that same phone call. So kind of another way to notify you and also let you get quick access to dialing your leads very quickly. We also have this call now functionality that will be coming soon, where you can call your leads within our platform if you choose to do that. And we track those calls on your behalf so that you can get an idea of how many times you're calling, how quickly you're working the leads, who on your team is working them, things of that nature. We're also working hard on warm transfers and making that something we can offer to agents. Right now, we just offer leads, but we've gotten a lot of feedback that agents would love to buy warm transfers from us. So that's in the works on our side. And then lastly, we have this kind of brand new tool that we're calling the lead feed that we really haven't shared much about with our current agents. So you guys are kind of getting a sneak peek at this, but the whole point of this is creating a brand new way for agents to purchase leads and browse leads. So what this tool is it basically, you come into our platform, you can browse leads that are available to you. a lot of the feedback we've heard, and this came up even in the questions about our return policy, is just how important contact rates are to agents, where if you can get in contact and it's an interested consumer, then, you know, that's a quality product, and you're happy that you bought that lead, right? So with that in mind, we focused a lot around how do we deliver leads in a better way where there's more guarantee that you're going to make contact. So with this new lead feed tool, you'll be able to come in, look at our leads, browse and filter them. You won't have access to the PII data, of course, because you have to kind of buy the product to have that, but you can see, you know, where the lead is located in terms of their zip code and city and state, how many drivers and incidents, all the stuff you would need to decide whether this is the type of lead for your agency or not. And then you have two options. You can either click a button and buy that lead outright right then, because you say, you know, I definitely want to work this lead and have access to the PII data right away. Or the second option is to actually attempt to dial that lead through our platform and then only pay if you connect. So pay on a cost per connection basis. And the point of that really gets back to the question about, you know, can I return a lead if I don't make contact with it? We really want to deliver a high quality product where you guys feel more assured that what you're paying for is a good quality lead, right? So that's really what this is aiming to achieve. And we're very excited to start testing this out with agents soon and then roll it out in the new year. With that, I will hand it back over to Tigran to close things out and then open it up for any last questions.
Thanks, Rebecca. So just to the point of the last thing that Rebecca shared, I want to add just one sentence there. We wanted to take on from what we heard from agents, we wanted to take on the risk, right? So you can call as many times with this product, and only once you get into contact with the consumer and speak for a certain length of time do you get charged. So, you know, we've been getting great feedback overall from the platform. You got a sneak peek at what's to come overall. From our ability to generate leads directly and control the leads, quality is of utmost importance, and we've gotten a lot of feedback because of that. And, you know, word is starting to spread. And so as word spreads, if we could go to the next slide, we are offering any new agent partner who deposits between $250 to $1,000, we will match dollar for dollar. Okay, so this is a great opportunity. This goes back to, I think, questions about subsidizing. In essence, the first go around, we're initially subsidizing 50% of the cost in this instance. So, you know, if anybody's interested, obviously we invite this opportunity to team up with us and in essence, AgencyZoom, so we can go ahead and put this integration together and go from there. So I'll turn it over to Kat and open it up for questions, I guess, Kat, unless there's anything else we want to cover here.
Yeah, no, questions is helpful. I think at this point we had a couple that came in again as you guys were going through things. So that's a good sign. People are still paying attention. So one of those was, do you guys integrate with Zapier?
We do not currently, but I think we actually have an agent right now asking for that. So we're starting to look into it. And I mean, I think you guys probably know this, but it really depends on having customers who are interested in these integrations to build them out. We, as a company, we have probably hundreds, if not thousands of integrations across the board, and we're new in the agent space. So we kind of build them as we get interest.
Yep, love that. Also, you guys, because we're going to have the integration built, you know, as the people come forward, and to Rebecca's point there, you know, say like, we're interested in this and we'd like to have an integration. As soon as a lead got into AgencyZoom, we have Zapier. So you guys could say, if a lead enters AgencyZoom and lead source is MediaAlpha, zap to whatever thing you guys want. You know, if it's thanks.io, if it's like a little gift card, Tango card is awesome. There's some on there that are ringless voicemails that I know a couple of you guys, I see amongst the group here, a couple of ringless voicemail companies where then you could send out a text from AgencyZoom right away, but you could also get a ringless voicemail out to that person right away. There's a lot of stuff you guys would be capable of right off the get-go. So yeah, keep coming forward. Like I said, there's been 2 teams I know already that have messaged me privately, so thank you guys. And we're gonna keep an eye on more questions in case you guys have them. I think there's 2 in the chat. So
I
Um,
saw, oh, sorry, go ahead.
okay, go ahead, Tigran.
I saw somebody ask, anything special that needs to be done for the match? Absolutely not. Again, as Rebecca mentioned in reviewing the platform, as long as you've deposited a minimum of $250, we will match it. So 250 gets 250, or 1,000 gets 1,000. So you would have a total of 2,000 to spend towards leads. You can pause at any time. We hate for you to go, but if it didn't work out for whatever reason and you canceled, any funds from your original portion that you've deposited would be reverted back to your credit card that you originally charged it on. And certainly, if you didn't get to the point of using the additional match part, you do lose it. So I want to be clear there. So you would have to spend your 250 first, and then you get the additional 250 to spend thereafter. I hope I answered that question.
It looks like there's another question related from the same agent. Tigran, when is I assume the match program good until? Which I mean, I'm sure we won't keep it running forever, but I don't think we have a set end date at this time, right?
At least through the end of the year, it's, especially for this program. And then we'll decide after the end of the year if we will continue this in Q1 of 2022.
Awesome. We've had some more questions come in too around they joined a little bit late. Once we buy a lead, will it sync up to AgencyZoom as a lead? Does it come straight into AgencyZoom, or does it come in as a CSV that needs to be uploaded? They are a captive agent and they don't want it to go added elsewhere. Guys, we started this one and so that you guys, again, keep track of your structure, because I know some of you guys are on every webinar we do and some of you guys come back and forth depending on what you're interested in. We're kicking things off with MediaAlpha as a partnership, which means it is not integrated. And that doesn't have any reflection on MediaAlpha or AgencyZoom for that matter. It means that we would like you guys, we had 91 agencies on here, we would like you guys to come forward and say that this is important to you and tell us what you want us to build. So the request, once you buy a lead, will it sync into AgencyZoom? That's a no-brainer. That one's probably pretty simple. We can accomplish that really quickly. Tigra and Rebecca, the team at MediaAlpha, have done that in the past. We can certainly get that going. But things like the status changing in AgencyZoom as you work a lead, do you want that to come back into MediaAlpha? If you move a lead to dead, close loss reason, return, do you want that to return through MediaAlpha? There's a bunch of things that we lean into you guys to tell us how important is this, how much of this is necessary on day one. So by this being a partnership and not an integration yet, it's because we're looking for a couple of you to raise your hand to say, like, I like both of these companies. I would be happy to help build it. I have some great ideas on how this could work. So that's where we're at right now. You certainly could download the CSV and upload it. You're more than welcome to do that. But yeah, right now it does not have a direct integration. We'd love to get there. That's why we're having this. So let's see. I have questions around the match. So there's one that says, is the match one time or up to 1,000? Is it a one-time 250 or match until you reach 1,000? So do I have to make the decision right off the get-go to say, okay, $600, or could I keep adding until I get to 1,000, guys?
It is one time, so I want to be very direct. We've had that question come up many times. It is one time. So if you deposit 250 and then you decided to add an additional 250, we wouldn't match the second deposit. It would just be that initial deposit that you make.
Okay. I want to share a little bit around that too, because obviously Tigran and Rebecca don't want to toot their own horn on this. They are a very established company, guys. Your carriers are working with them. They're in travel, they're in other verticals. If you have the cash on hand, especially with what Tigran shared, that they will refund it if you cancel, it would not hurt to put more money in there and get your match. They're not gonna like poof and go goodbye overnight. That's, they're a well-established company. They're on, New York Stock Exchange. So they're not gonna go poof and go away overnight. If you wanna make the most of your match, the money to which you can afford from a cash flow standpoint is best to put in. Like Tigran said, you'll draw down on your part first and then you'll go into theirs. But that said, if you don't use all of your own and you're unhappy, you can get that money back.
Yeah, thanks, Kat. We appreciate you helping to explain that. And I will say we've heard some absolute horror stories from agents where you guys are sitting on hold for what feels like months trying to get your money back. We do not do that to our agents. If you decide that you want to quit and this isn't for you, and that does happen, right? Not every agency maybe is right to work internet leads, and maybe we're not the right fit in some cases. We're going to refund that money to you. So just put
And
that out there.
and we've had, this is again a great question, right? Because when we introduced the Spanish, and we have in the past, agents have gravitated towards that $1,000. Why? Because one of the unique things about the platform is you have full control to pause it, right? And ultimately cancel it. So what I've recognized with agents is they're very attuned to their business and know right away the quality of leads that are coming in, and they react right away. So, with the tools available through the platform, you should be able to conserve your money and get a refund if for whatever reason it didn't work. But so far, we've been very fortunate with our agents, and we've had a great relationship. So, but thank you, Kat. You said it so much better than I did earlier.
Well, there's only so much you guys can say without seeming like you're, patting yourselves on the back. And there's some agents that have vouched in the chat for you guys too. So Lee's down at Insurance Hub. It is not a small agency. They are not sitting around twiddling their thumbs. And he, rose his hand and said, FYI, as an independent agent, he'll vouch for you guys. He's used it in the past. We've been around for a long time, been at InsurTech conferences. Guys, they show up. They're very accountable. It is truly a great team. And then somebody asked a question. They've already done their marketing buys for November, so they don't have a lot of co-op left maybe on their budget. Could they do the match this month and then start drawing leads in December? Is that okay?
We will honor that. Yes.
Awesome. And then we have somebody asking, how do we sign up? Guys, we're going to have our landing page. I think our landing page is maybe already live on AgencyZoom.com. If you guys go into the ecosystem and then partners area, MediaAlpha is there. You guys can get to their website from there. Your guys' website is MediaAlpha.com.
MediaAlpha.com, and then you'll see a section for agents where you can sign up, and a salesperson will be in touch with you.
Perfect. So yeah, if you guys need this video and want to rewatch, if you guys need any of the resources, you name it, you can hop over to our landing page if you're already in AgencyZoom, or you can go over directly to MediaAlpha, and they obviously are there for you too.